Hi, this video is coming to you just after Easter in 2023, a time when some of you, like myself, might have just taken a short break from your instrument. Now, I want to talk to you about getting back into it and things that we can do that are going to inspire us to pick our instrument up again and really improve our sound, really improve our technique, and start to enjoy playing the instrument again. So what are the first things that I do to try and get back into things? Well, I'll look at my schedule. I'll look at the next 3-4 months and see what I've got coming up. And it's that will dictate what I need to work on next. Now, some of you might be working towards an exam. Some of you might be working towards a recital. Some of you might be working towards some school tests that might be coming up. And it's those things that we need to have in our sights, really. So we need to be thinking about what we need to be doing for those exercises, for those exams, and think, well, where can I start that's going to prepare me best for that date? Just to let you know the things that I've got coming up, I've got a couple of recording sessions. I've got a recording session actually in a couple of hours time. I've got a recording session in a couple of days time with my band, and then in a couple of weeks with a sax quartet. So I've got a very, very busy schedule over the next couple of weeks after what has been a couple of weeks break from the instruments. So it is quite stressful, but I think with that deadline and with that real focused effort that I've got this thing coming up, I know that I'm going to be able to get into things a lot quicker. One quote that I have on my desk all the time is this from Duke Ellington, and this was something that I had through lockdown, a time when we all had so much time on our hands, but I don't know if it was the same for everybody else, but I didn't get as much done as I thought I would get done with all of that time. And that's what brought me onto this. I don't need time. What I need is a deadline. And that is essential for making sure that you can get going with your instrument again. Give yourself a deadline. If you've not got an exam coming up, if you've not got a performance coming up, if you've not got a recording coming up, give yourself a little project, whether that's a new piece of music. Get it on the music stand and give yourself a deadline to say, you know what, I want to have achieved half of this piece within the next however many weeks or months or days. And once you've got that deadline and you've got that thing that you're aiming for, things should then start to fall into place. At that moment, we can then pick the instrument up and say, well, where do I start? So that brings us on to what we do when we first pick up that instrument. Pick that instrument up and where do we go? Well, I would hope that the main reason why you play an instrument in the first place is because it's fun. And that's one of the reasons why I do it. I choose the things that I want to do because I enjoy playing them. Yes, there are the things that I have to do as a job that I don't quite enjoy as much as the things that I would want to do, but that's needs must. I want to choose something that's fun, that I enjoy. So if I'm coming back after a short break from my instrument, I want to be inspired to pick the instrument up. So me putting a piece of music on the music stand that I know I'm going to enjoy, I know I can get my fingers around, I know that it's something that's very familiar to me, and when I get to the end of it, I'm going to feel good about my playing again. That's essential. Making sure that you give yourself a really, really low goal when you first start playing the instrument again after however long the break is a key, I think, to making sure that you're getting back into playing and enjoying yourself again. Expectation is another thing. Don't give yourself too much expectation. If you can go in there with not too much expectation, understanding that you're going to be a little bit rusty, your embouchure might get very tired quite quickly, your fingers might be a little bit sluggish, and overall your sound might not be where you want it, that's absolutely fine. So don't expect miracles as soon as you pick that instrument up again. If you set them expectations low, you might actually find that you're pleasantly surprised when you start playing. Another thing that I try and do is listen. And I think this is missed out quite a lot when we think about practicing or we think about playing our instrument. Listen to the music that you enjoy listening to, whether that's the same as the repertoire that you're playing or it's just your favourite radio station or your favourite band. It might be totally different than the music that you're used to playing on your instrument. It might be totally different than the music that you have to play for an exam. But getting yourself back into listening to music is, well, part of the fun, isn't it? We listen to music, we enjoy music, it gets them endorphins going, it gets you feeling good about listening to music, it gets you feel good about thinking, well, could I do that on my instrument? That is another essential part, which again, I think is missed out quite a lot in people's practice. They don't think about listening to music as much as they think about playing music. So just as I sit here, I've just pressed pause on a playlist that I just threw onto Spotify. And it's just getting me going again. I'm just listening to that thinking, yeah, I'm ready to get back into this now. And it's not necessarily something that I'm going to be playing, but it's something that really gets me back into music and gets me back into that frame of mind of this is what I'm going to be doing now. So now some practical tips on what you can do with your actual instrument. Well, it won't come as a surprise. Those who've seen my videos before, long notes. Yes, they are sometimes pretty boring. Just engaging with the instrument again and just getting some sound into the instrument, getting used to that breath control, getting used to that embouchure placement again, getting used to that getting that reed going again is essential to just getting yourself going playing the instrument. Some very slow work on scales is definitely going to help as well, because that's going to help the fingers. That, along with that controlled breath, maybe throwing in some dynamics in there, just something nice and simple. Again, we're setting the bar very, very low here. We're just trying to get a sound on the instrument. We're just trying to play a simple scale, even if it's just part of a simple scale, and we're just getting a sound on the instrument. That's the first thing that we need to try and do. Then moving that sound and that finger technique onto a piece of music that you enjoy playing. This could be a piece of music that you first started playing on the instrument. It could be the simplest of simple pieces. It doesn't matter. Get something on that music stand that you know you're going to feel good about playing when you get to the end of the piece. And at that point, you've woken yourself up, you've got yourself going again, you've brought your instrument back to life. It's then time to move on to that specific focused effort on the goal that you set yourself. However far into the future that goal is, we need to make sure that we're working towards that in little steps. And these first things of getting the instrument back out of the box after a break are the first steps into getting to that goal. So if you're like me and just getting back to the instrument after a short break, however long that's been, mine's been about a week and a half, something like that, and I've got a very, very tightly packed schedule over the next couple of weeks, so I know that I need to hit the ground running, and these things that I've just discussed in this video are exactly what I'm going to do with my instrument right now.